Welcome to No Fugazee Podcast. I'm your host, Cooley. Tonight is open panel debate night. Let's go. Actually, Gabby, you done. And you want to leave too? This is how our relationship goes. God over man, man over woman, woman over children. All right, we are back. Welcome to No Fugazee Podcast. Again, I'm your host, Cooley. Tonight is open panel debate night. We're currently live right now on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Kick. We're actually live on Kick right now. Well, at least we should be. We'll have to go ahead and check that. Actually, for the members and the mods, if you could, go ahead and check that for me. The second link is going to be for the Kick URL. So go on over and subscribe on Kick. So yeah, go ahead and do that, and just make sure we're live on Kick as well, folks. It's open panel debate night. We are looking to get some good feminists and some good atheists up here to join us in a good spirited debate tonight. First link in the YouTube description, though, is going to be for the members. If you want to become a member, you can do so. We got 3 tiers. First tier is gang, second tier is hitman, third tier is mob ties. You join any of those tiers, you are locked in, and welcome to the cookout. Then the other links are all for the social media platforms, the Facebook, the X, the Instagram, the TikTok. And now the Kick is in the YouTube description as well. Now we're live on TikTok right now. Also, we got a few prompts up here for the TikTok folks. First prompt is, women don't deserve equal rights. Ooh, this should trigger some women and some feminists. This should actually trigger all of the liberals. So let's get these guys to come on up. Second prompt is, if atheism is true, knowledge is impossible. Let's get some of those atheists on up here. And the third prompt is, women are beneath men. All right, so we have some triggering prompts up here, man, to the feminists and the liberals at least, and the atheists. So hopefully we can get those guys to come on up and debate their position tonight. Let me just check the audio real quick. Okay, looks like that's good. Looks like it's good. For the folks on TikTok, okay. Yeah, I see you in there. You said you liked the prompts. Yeah, man, those are some good prompts. So let's get some folks on up here. Again, on TikTok, if you want to come up and join the debate tonight, you can just request to come up live on TikTok. For the folks on YouTube, if you want to join the debate tonight, just click the first link that's pinned in the YouTube comments. So in the YouTube comments, you'll see a link, and it's going to be for Restream. You can go ahead and click that link and join to come on up, and you can debate me about any topics you want. Also, these 3 prompts. But yeah, that's what we got in store for you guys tonight, chat. So only debates. I will, maybe if we have some time, if it's slow, I guess I'll review some of the clips that the members sent me. So, we'll see what's up with that. Right? But let me go ahead and give my positions for these 3 prompts. So, women don't deserve equal rights. Right? Now, when you look at the word deserve, a synonym for that would be earn, warranted, right? Now, all of these, terms have a meaning behind it, and we're speaking about rights. Well, rights are something, it's a figment in the imagination. You can't touch or smell a right. So rights are normally, not normally, they are a social construct. It's things that we agree on. So These rights are only enforced by men. Men are the enforcers and the givers of rights. So with that being said, since it's the case that women can't give rights to men and they can't give rights themselves, they only can appeal to other men to give them rights. Thus, women do not deserve rights. So, simple argument. If anyone has any points of contention, come on up. Okay, take that off. Yeah, so if anyone has any points of contention, come on up and let's debate prompt 1. Prompt 2, super simple. If atheism is true, knowledge is impossible. So atheism, they normally take a few different, avenues as far as maybe being a physicalist, meaning that they don't believe in immaterial concepts. They don't believe in an immaterial existence. They only believe in material existence. And if that's the case, well, knowledge would be impossible. They would have a problem with solving the criterion problem. So that's going to be a very simple discussion to have with these atheists, but I don't think it's possible. So I'm curious to get some atheists up here to see if they can actually, give me an argument for that. And then prompt 3, kind of similar to prompt 1, but not similar. We can argue this prompt a few different ways. So prompt 3, women are beneath men. We can look at this from a dating and relationship perspective. We can look at this from a societal perspective. But if we just focus on the dating and relationship for just a second, I would say that prior to a relationship starts, and generally speaking, women won't even accept a man that's beneath her. Thus, they only truly want and yearn for a man that they view as above them, because they're normally looking for a follower and they're looking to be in the submissive role if they are a follower. So I would say that the conclusion is, well, women are beneath men because they won't even accept a man that's beneath them. Cha-ching. And before a nation starts, a relationship starts. So how these relationships happen, it's normally that's what we see in society. That's what we see in our nation. So that's a relationship argument. We can also speak about it from a societal aspect as well, but we'll get into that when these folks start coming up. So 3 prompts, definitely, controversial. And hopefully this will trigger some feminists and some atheists to come on up and debate coolly tonight. Looks like we got some people joining up already via TikTok. Look like we got Bread Taker. All right, let me bring this guy on up. And also for one of the mods on YouTube or one of the members, if you can just verify that I'm actually live on Tik, that'd be great. I said Kick. If you can actually verify that I'm currently live on Kick, I greatly appreciate it. All right, let's bring up the first guy. 1 second here. So
yeah. It's working right now. Kick is I clicked over there. It's working.
Okay, Kick is working good.
Yeah.
Thank you. And if everyone now, since we're live on Kick, that's going to be the second link in the YouTube description. All of the folks on YouTube, if you can go on over to Kick for a moment, watch me over there for a little bit, the YouTube folks, and give me subscribe, because once I get I think it's maybe 100 subscribers or something, and I'm live for a certain amount of time, then I'm able to be eligible for monetization. So go on over there and subscribe, to my Kick. Thanks, Wick. Appreciate you, man.
Got you, man.
All right. Now let's bring up the first debater via TikTok. 1 second here. Welcome to No Fugazee Podcast. Let me get your name and age.
My name's Aaron, and I'm 23.
What's going on, Aaron? And what prompt do you want to debate?
I get to pick one. I'm really curious why you don't think women deserve equal rights. That has to be the my favorite one. I'm more interested in the atheist one, I guess, but I want an explanation for that one first.
Sure. If you're an atheist as well, I don't even see how you would make any argument for women to deserve equal rights. But for prompt, you're agnostic. Okay, fair enough. So for prompt one, my argument is simply when we speak about rights, rights are what to you exactly? What is a right to you?
I guess there's positive and negative rights if you're talking about a relationship with the state. So there's rights that the state gives to us, and there's rights that the state refuses to infringe upon. Is that what you mean by rights?
Well, I'm asking you, by rights themselves, what is a right? Can you touch or smell or taste a right? What is it?
No, obviously.
Okay, so rights would be I'm sorry?
I'd probably say it's the ability to do something.
Okay, so rights would be more of a social construct, things that we agree on. We have a right to do this or a right not to do that, right?
Yep.
Okay. So this social construct, what makes that come to reality?
I guess our morals and ideals and our consciousness. Our consciousness informs our morals and ideals, and we try to use rationality to make decisions.
Yeah, but if
what we think is and is not right.
If a right is a social construct, so for example, let's say that me and you both agree that women have a right to walk down Carteret Street, right? They have an actual right to walk down Carteret Street and a right to go to Carteret College.
Yep.
So this concept that we agree on, what would make that come true?
On an epistemological level? Is that what you're asking?
Well, yeah, what would make that come to reality? Since it's just something that we agree on, and women, so it says 10 women. Say, hey, women, you got a right to walk on Carteret Street. You have a right to go to Carteret College. But then there's a group of people that say they oppose that right. They say, well, no, you actually don't have a right to walk down Carteret Street or a right to go to Carteret College, right? So then what would make that right actually true?
Okay, well, I guess it would be generally society's conviction on what we think should and should not be a right, if we're talking about actual truth.
But there's always going to be
what
people.
Society believes ought to be the case.
Okay, yep. Society believes something ought to be the case, but there's always going to be people that disagree, right?
Absolutely.
All right, so since we know that it's just inevitable that we're going to have some people that disagree, some people that go against what we think is a right, thus, what's going to make that actually be true? And how can we uphold these social constructs that we have in our mind to make them true in reality? We're going to need some men to enforce this right.
Oh, I see. That's where you're going with it. I thought you meant it more on a philosophical level, but you're saying how do we actually uphold those rights?
Yeah, how can we actually make a right come true?
That's, I guess, the ultimate question when it comes to politics, right? But I would say it's generally through some kind of democratic process. So in the United States, it'd be that we have elected officials that come into government that are meant to represent our ideals, and they have a legal system that ensures that there are rights based on what we believe in, whether it's equality or inequality. For a long time, it was inequality based on what you believe in. It's women didn't deserve rights a long time ago. Black people didn't deserve rights a long time ago. And then now it's based more on equality than it used to be.
Yeah. So again, you're not really dealing with the level of question that I'm asking you. So we know that a right is.
You need to be a little more specific. It's a very, very broad question.
It's really not. So since it's a social construct, listen, man, let's say if me and you currently, we face to face, hypothetically speaking, I tell you to shut up and you say no, right? No, I'm not shutting up. Well, what can make me shut you up? how can I shut you up?
Or you can threaten to fight me, or you can use a gun.
Okay, so it's going to be some force, right?
Yes, which is what the government is supposed to do. The democratically elected government.
Got it. So now we understand.
Sort of saying.
Okay, now we understand fundamentally what a right is. A right simply is going to reduce down to some sort of force. Even as something so simple as I tell you to shut up, you say no, right? I want you to stop doing something. You don't want to stop doing it. How can I get you to stop doing it? Or how can I get you to do something? It's going to come down to it has to be forced somehow. So I'm just simply saying that rights equals force. And when we look in society, the people that are in positions to enforce these social constructs that we have in our mind is going to be a collection of men. It's always going to be a collection of men. Men are the majority in the police force. Men are the majority in the military. Since the beginning of time, there's always been men enforcing these ideas that we have in our minds. There's always been men creating order.
I would say so, but I'd say that's mostly a sociological or cultural phenomenon rather than something biological.
Okay. So if it's not biological and only, it's socially done, then do men and women have the same physical capacity?
No, I wouldn't say so.
Okay. So men are extremely much stronger on average than women, right?
Yeah, but the point of democracy and the point of having a government is that it's supposed to it's the idea is that it's supposed to level the playing field, so it's not a might makes right situation. The idea of a representative republic is that we're not supposed to be in a situation where you can come up to me and say, hey, I want you to stop talking or I'll use physical force, because the equalizer is that I'm able to contact the government and say, okay, well, he's trying to use force against me. That's a violation of my rights under the Constitution. And that right is supposed to be equal under the Constitution in order to protect myself. So the whole idea of our democracy is that those rights are supposed to be built on equality.
No, the country in America was not built off of equality. When the country was founded, that's just incorrect. Well, you're saying that's how it's supposed to be, but it was never built off equality. Even when a country was
the ideal.
Yeah, that's not really the ideal, because even when the country was founded, men didn't even have certain rights. Women definitely didn't have rights. The blacks definitely didn't have rights as well. Certain rights, equal rights, I'm saying. So that's just untrue. But let's get back to rights themselves so you can understand. I'm basically trying to hold your feet to the fire on what rights are, because once we can agree on that, then we can tackle the prompt one, women don't deserve equal rights. So if we can agree that rights equals force, right? I'm not saying that might makes right. So you are equivocating on the
rights. I don't know if I agree with that premise. I don't know if I agree with that premise.
Okay, if you don't agree, if you don't agree that rights equals force, then please elucidate your position to me and explain what rights are and what does it equal.
Well, I already kind of gave this definition earlier, but it's at least in our system. I think it depends on what system you're talking about and where you are culturally in society. But in our system, rights are supposed to be enshrined under law, and there's supposed to be protection based on class and groups and based on the people that are in your given country.
You're using different terms. It's circular. So you say law, like a law, like something in law. Well, what's law? A law is, again, another social construct, something that we agree on. It's a law. A rule, again, is something that we would agree on, another social construct. A right is, again, something that we agree on, another social construct. So rights, laws, and rules, these things are just figments in our mind. They're not actually true. I'm asking you what grounds it, what actually makes these concepts come to reality. If it's not forced, then what is it?
The democracy is supposed to reflect the will of the voters and of the people who think what should be moral or should not be moral.
That's great. Even if people agree, that's not answering the question. That's begging the question. So even if it's the case that people agree what these social constructs are, that's great. We agree on some things. What actually makes it true?
You mean like objectively true?
What makes it true in reality?
I don't think I believe that there is an objective truth when it comes to morality or what is a right.
I'm not asking
like
you
that. I think those are
objectively true.
subjective.
Well, like what would make this concept in our minds actually be true? So for example, Carteret College, right? Let's just say that women, me and you agree that women have, a right to go to Carteret College and walk down Carteret Street. We agree on this, right? And there's always, like you said, it's always going to be people that disagree. Always. Mm-hmm. So how can we uphold this concept? What are we going to do to uphold this concept? So we got a concept, and women, they agree to it. They say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and walk down Carteret Street. I'm going to go to Carteret College, right? That's what they're doing because we agreed on it. Now, what's going to uphold that? Because there's going to be people that disagree and try to stop them and say no. What's going to uphold that?
I mean, I would say it's, I guess, thousands of years of the development of our rationality and morality that's enshrined in law.
No, those are other concepts. A concept is not going to uphold another concept.
It's the violence it's the threat of violence through the state, I guess.
Okay, there we go.
The closest I'm going to get.
All right, so now you've reduced it down to the threat of violence. And the threat of violence is simply what I'm saying.
Or not violence, but necessarily arrest. Yeah, represented through a democracy, represented through the people, based on the concept of equality.
Okay, so now it looks like you're agreeing with my stance that rights reduced down to violence, which I'm just using a different word. I'm saying force, but that would be some type of violence to enforce these constructs that we have in our minds, right? So since we can agree that rights equals force, now we have to simply think about who can enforce, since there's only two sexes, male and female, and you agree that males are physically strong, vastly physically stronger than women, then who's going to enforce these ideas that we have in our minds? Is it going to be a collection of men, or is it going to be a collection of women? And what has it always been since the beginning of time?
You mean through like leadership or police or both?
Again, it's always gonna, we only got two sexes in societies, right? Men and women. Men are physically stronger. Yep. So who can put violence to, who can put consequences on things that go against the grain? Is it gonna be a collection of men or a collection of women? Who can enforce these rights?
I guess technically, because right now we're majority ran by men, it would be men.
Okay. Now, got it. We agree. Technically, right now, it will be majority of men that is going to enforce the rights.
Yes.
Now, if you look,
cultural phenomenons that we've had, we've been developing through thousands of years. Yep.
If you look throughout history, go back in the past, 500 years, 1,000 years, 4,000 years, what have you seen? Did you see anything differently other than men enforcing these social constructs that we have in our mind?
No, that seems to be relatively consistent, and it has led to strong patriarchal systems in which men,
All right, so now
that's the system that you're innately defending. Yes,
got it. So now we agree, and thank you for being good faith. Now we can agree that rights equals force. Men have the monopoly on force and enforcement, which means that women don't deserve equal rights because women can't even enforce rights for themselves, and women can't enforce rights for men. Thus, it will never be equal, so they don't deserve it.
That is literally a might. That's hilarious. That's literally a might makes right.
No one ever. So you're equivocating, real quick. You're equivocating on the word right. I'm not. My argument isn't might makes right. So right, you're equivocating on the concept of rights, meaning like rules and laws that we make in societies, and then the word right as it being moral. So might does not make right under my system of belief at all, because we're not speaking about morality right now. But under your system, since you're agnostic, you don't know if there's a God or not, you probably believe that morality is subjective, correct?
Yeah.
So if it's the case that morality is subjective, then what is actually right?
If it's that's a totally different question. If it's
I know.
Morality is subjective, what actually creates things that are right? Okay, well, I
so
guess
now you've already conceded on prompt one. Real quick, you already conceded on prompt one, basically.
No, I did not concede on prompt one. I don't even agree with the premise that no, I don't agree. I do not agree with the premise. I don't even agree with the premise that it's not that might makes right or whatever the fuck that you're saying with like
and
whoever
no
can
cussing because we're live on TikTok and many other platforms. Okay.
Okay, you're gonna get demonetized for somebody swearing.
Just respect the platform because I got you up here. Okay.
Fair enough.
All right.
Okay, so if you have like a majority white society, and then you have 10% of your society is black people, so the society is primarily ran by whites who, let's just say in this society, white people have higher IQs, those kinds of things. So they maintain dominance, they maintain power in that society. Does that mean black people in that society don't deserve equal rights?
That's not my argument.
I'm asking you if you say you don't think that's the case.
If it's the case that whites are in power and blacks aren't in power, you're asking me, do I think that blacks don't deserve equal rights because they aren't in power?
Well, because white people enforce the laws.
Yeah, so you are making, this is a non sequitur. So it's a non sequitur, has nothing to do with what we're speaking about. So is there a distinction between race and sex?
Is there a distinction? Yes, obviously.
Okay, obviously there's a distinction between race and sex. And when we speak about, it doesn't matter what race of man you are, we would say that a race of man, if it's an Asian man, a black man, a white man, a Hispanic man, an Indian man, they would share similar physical capacities, correct? Very similar physical capacities, right?
Yeah, I would say, obviously, it depends on who you talk to, right? But yeah, you would say relatively similar. But hold on.
Okay, stop it there.
If we're talking
real quick, let me finish.
Hold on. If we're talking about a society, okay, but we're just talking about physical capacity. Should we not talk about intellect? Should we not talk about the fact that women are on average smarter than men?
That's just untrue. The bell curve proves that to be inaccurate also. So let's just stick with the line of argument for a second, right? Because I'm trying to tell you that what you did was it's just a non sequitur. It has nothing to do with my position. So if it's the case that there is a clear distinction between race and sex, and the argument for prompt one is speaking solely about sex, not about race, and race has nothing to do with it because men throughout all races share a very close, similar capacity, if not the same, right? We would at least have to say that they have the same capacity. They can reach the same physical capacity. And rights are speaking about enforcement, and force is about physical strength. Well, there's not a distinction between an Asian man and a black man and a white man as far as strength-wise and to enforce things and to invoke consequences on other people. No, it's going to be very, very similar. But if we compare that to men and women, it will be vastly different because women are the weaker sex, like you conceded to. So you speaking about race and bringing this up, it's a non sequitur. It has nothing to do with the prompt or the position that I'm making. And it doesn't help you out either.
You're not addressing my point about intelligence. If a white supremacist comes to you, no, because you're only basing this off of physical strength, off of physical characteristics. That's what your whole argument is rooted in.
Because what are rights?
You also have to account for the fact that intelligence, yes, but obviously intelligence means that you can manipulate. We don't have an agreement on what rights are. That's the whole issue.
Now you're contradicting yourself.
Strength that is filtered through. No, because I think that rights is strength that is filtered through rational ideals. It is strength. It is violence, as you're stating, that is filtered through rational ideals. This is where we disagree. You think it's literally just the strength in your ability to enforce something. Okay. And I'm saying in a democratic society, it's that, yes, the enforcement mechanism is through the government, but the ideals and what we actually believe in is through the will of the people.
Hey, Coach, he's moving the goalposts. He's moving the goalposts, Coach. Let me explain
with your assessment how you're right. I'm directly addressing your claim.
If you've already agreed that rights equals force, I can go ahead and rewind it back and play it for you, where you said that, well, these social constructs that we have in our mind, yeah, it's going to reduce down to some sort of violence. That's what you already said. So if it's the case that rights equals force, and we're speaking about violence, right? That's what we're speaking about. To uphold a right, to enforce a right, is going to come down to some sort of force. So you bringing in race is a non sequitur, because it doesn't matter if it's a white man in charge, a black man in charge, an Indian and Asian. It's still going to be men that's going to enforce these social constructs in our mind. So it's a non sequitur. It has nothing to do with the position. So if it's the case that whites enslave the blacks, that already happened, my friend. If it's the case that blacks enslave the whites, that already happened, my friend. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's going to be men that enforce all of the social constructs that we have in our mind. It's not going to be women. Therefore, you made a non sequitur that has nothing to do with the position. It's just moving the goalpost around. So I can't score. But I've already scored. I've been dunking the entire time.
So you don't think white people enforce the social constructs in a white-dominated society with black people? And also, wait, I want to be very clear with my definition of rights. So you're saying, I want to be very clear.
You didn't hear nothing I said.
Of rights. When you're saying that your definition of rights is about force, correct? What I'm saying is that it's more nuanced than that, because the force is the strength of the force determined by the person that has the gun, by the person that has the weapons, right? And that person decides what is and is not right. And so, and depending on what society that you're in, whether it's a democracy or a monarchy, you pick how that is actually enforced and determine what rights are good and what rights are bad.
All right, I got you. Listen,
you're just identifying,
we agree on that part. So listen, stop.
No, because you're only identifying. Stop it. You just talked for so long. Why are you interrupting me?
I'm letting you know that you're proving my point. You're proving my point because...
Yeah, but if you keep doing that, I'm going to leave. All right, keep going.
Okay, I got you. I'm going to let you speak. I'm just trying to let you know that you're not like refuting my point. You're proving it because, yes, that is true. It's all going to come down to the things that we agree on, the legislation, all of that type of stuff. But it doesn't matter if it's blacks, whites, Hispanics, Dominicans, Asians, Puerto Ricans. It's still going to be men to enforce the constructs and the ideas that we write down on a piece of paper. It's not going to be women. That's the argument. The argument isn't a race argument. It's a sex argument. So it doesn't matter what...
Men are the ones that gave women the right to vote.
I don't care what sex enforces the rights. I don't care what race enforces the rights. That isn't my position. It's going to be men that enforce the rights. You get it?
And men had the capacity to give women the right to vote. That is what happened. So during the suffragette movement, okay, so they provided those rights. Where you? I'm assuming
men give women rights.
The right to vote, correct?
What are you talking about?
I'm assuming
men give women rights.
Right to legislate. Men are able to legislate equality in the same way that men are able to legislate inequality. And you're making an argument they don't deserve equal rights. What I'm saying is that's wrong because men have the capacity to pass equality. But you're saying that they shouldn't have equality.
No. What you just said proved my point. I 100% agree. Like when we look at feminism, women having the right to vote, all of the rights, women having the right to abort their unborn child, all of this stuff, all of the rights. All of these rights are enforced by men. I don't have a problem with that. That proves my point. Now, my point is that women can't enforce their
equal rights.
Yeah, because the reason why women don't deserve equal rights is because they can't enforce their rights for themselves or rights for men. So it can't be equal. It can never be equal. So thus they don't deserve it because it can never be equal.
That's a ridiculous. Okay, so but do you think that it's
just contend with my argument?
No, I know. I'm contending with your argument. I'm realizing it's just silly. So do you think it would be bad if men legislated unequal rights or unequal rights for women?
Well, that's a different question to the prompt, but I'll go ahead and answer. Do I think it would be bad if men legislate unequal rights between men and women?
Yeah, if people are looking at that prompt, obviously they're going to assume that that's the point that you're trying to make.
Yeah, even if men, even if men do it,
predicate that on the argument.
Listen, even if men say, you know what, we're going to give, and currently that's how it is in society right now in America anyway. So women have more privilege than men have. Like we have an obligation. We got to sign up for selective service. Women don't have the same obligation to protect the country, to enter the draft like men do. So thus they're on the privilege end where there's no, they basically have a right to not enter the draft. Right. And it's men that's upholding that right. So if, some people are like, no, we want women to be in the military if we go to war with China or something. Well, no, they got a right. They're not entering that draft, right? We ain't got no right. We are basically, we got to enter the draft. So you're proving my point. Like this, all of the examples you give does not refute the claim that rights equals force and men have the monopoly on force, and women always have to appeal to a collection of men to enforce their rights, and women also cannot enforce rights for other men. Thus, it can never be equal. Women will never have equal rights to men because they always need to ask men for rights because they can't enforce themselves. They're the weaker sex. Do you get that?
Yeah, I mean, but through our system, the way that you attain power is not through that violence. The way you attain power is through a democratic process. So you're saying the ability to have that, untrue. The ability to have that, you continuously interrupt me. The ability to actually have that power, to have that gun, to enforce those rights is not attained through violence. It is attained through some kind of democratic process. So your whole point is antiquated. It doesn't make sense.
No, I'll tell you how that's incorrect. You just said the ability to have a right is it's backed off of what? Say that again.
The ability to have a right. I'm not saying the ability to have a right. The ability to enforce a right. The ability to decide what is and is not a right is attained through a democratic process.
So things that we agree on.
Yes.
Okay. Currently, well, that's just not true because there's so many.
Attaining that power is not through violence. It's not through revolution. If it was through revolution, and if our election system worked that you had one candidate fight another candidate, then yeah, I guess you would be correct. But that's not how our literal system works. It's through a process. It's through some kind of democracy.
Well, that's just not. If that's true, then why are governments overthrown? Why are kings overthrown? There's no democratic process that's going on. It's just a collection of men that disagree with the democratic process, and they overthrow it with violence.
Yeah, I guess we're trying to move past that system, though. Like, I don't think that's a good system for establishing who is and who is not in power. I just refuted
what you said. Like, try to comprehend something.
Because we're not in a revolution.
Try to comprehend something here, bro. Okay?
Oh, my God.
You just said that, well, even for us to have this ability of rights and things, it has to go through a democratic process, things that we agree on, a collection of people agree on. Then we agree on this right? Because that's all the right is, a social construct. Once we agree on it, then it's enforced. I'm refuting that by saying, well, prior to it even being a democratic process or anything like that, if I disagree with this social construct, or even before you guys agree on it, I can overthrow what you have going on with physical force.
Why should I care? I don't care. Why would I care about that?
Stop it. You refuted your own point. So if you just said that, we agreed on this at least, a right is a social construct, things we agree on. It isn't actually a right yet in reality until it's enforced. Right? Yep. So if it's just something, real quick, if it's just something, let me just finish it. If it's just something we agree on, then it isn't even enforced yet. Well, you can agree that, hey, women, we agree that you can walk down Carteret Street and go into Carteret High School. And then my folks say, no, women, you don't have that right. You can't walk down Carteret Street and go to Carteret High School. What is going to come down to? Violence.
But that's totally separate to the system that we have.
What are you talking about?
The hypothetical that you're talking about is this super individualistic, outside of the system sort of worldview that's not relevant to how we actually enforce things in this country.
Okay, so then can you answer this one question for me then? Right?
Okay.
If it's the case that women deserve equal rights, can women enforce their own rights?
I guess technically in our system, no.
Well,
I mean, I have to think about that, but I don't think
even
so.
in other systems in the past, which you already agreed and said, you said no. Women
Well, no,
cannot
because they're
enforce.
patriarchal. They're, of course, yeah, because we've lived through so many patriarchal systems. Yeah.
And
of
why
course.
did we live through so many patriarchal systems rather than a matriarchal system?
That's a big question,
Bro, because
I mean,
women
that's like
cannot
that's
enforce
a
their own rights. That's why.
yeah,
That's the answer to it.
yeah, and
Okay.
all right.
So-
I don't really see what your point is.
No, my point is very, very simple because you keep on trying to obfuscate and move the goalpost to like things that are proving my point and have nothing to do with anything. So I'm just willing you back in. And if you agree that women cannot enforce their own rights and they cannot enforce rights for men, thus they can never actually have equal rights to men because men are the enforcers of rights and women aren't. Thus is not equal. Thus they don't deserve it.
But
What's a
I guess-
synonym
okay,
for deserve?
I guess fundamentally it comes down.
What's a synonym for deserve?
Ava Cooley.
My bad, was getting a call.
Should or shouldn't, I'm assuming.
My bad, I was getting a call. Hold up. Give me 1 second.
Oh, good.
Little daughter calling me. Hold up. Uh, 1 second here, chat. All right, I'm back. Okay, man. So,
Okay.
I'm sorry, you were
let's
just saying something.
reset
Go
for a
ahead.
second. Well, I want to reset for a second in terms of understanding the statement, because maybe I'm misunderstanding your point. When
Okay.
you say deserve, what do you mean by deserve? Is that a normative statement?
Well, that's what I was getting at. I asked you that question before I, put you on mute for a quick second. So I asked you again, what's a synonym for deserve?
I guess I'd say like should have.
Okay.
I don't know.
Synonym would be earn, warranted. What is the meaning of deserve? What does deserve mean?
And I don't know. I don't know. What point are you trying to make? Earned, warranted?
The point
Sure.
that I'm making, if women can't earn the ability to enforce their own rights or rights for men,
Yeah.
thus they don't deserve it.
But I believe. Okay, but I think
Rights
that they
mean you've
fundamentally
earned
do
it.
because they're human beings. Yeah, but rights can also. It's the same policy of like black people not having power in the 50s and 60s, and you coming to me and being like, look, black people aren't elected. It's that same kind of argument. They don't have any power.
Black
they don't
people-
deserve the equal rights.
No,
It's the
listen,
same-
black people as a whole, they can enforce rights for themselves. Black men, at least, they can enforce rights for themselves and for other women. Like black men
How can they do that? We go to the 50s in America. How are they going to do that? A white-dominated
If we look in
society
any society
where all
right
the
now-
legislators are white.
If we look in any society, look in the countries in Africa. Are
Mostly the
there
US.
men? Well, and if we even look in the U.S., that's fine. The U.S. is only 12% of the population is black folks, so we're the minority. And if we're looking at men, it's only about 6 to 4% of the population in America are black men. So it's a very, very small percentage of black men that's in the military and in the police force, but it's the majority of folks that's in the military and the police force are whites because there are more whites. So if you want to say, well, black versus whites, if we just put them to battle, who's going to win? Well, there's more whites than there are blacks. So what's your point?
Yeah, and they.
The point
Well, then
isn't
under
about
your
men
argument,
versus
they
men.
had the strength.
The point is
Well-
about men versus women.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that your point can apply to black versus white in the United States.
It
I'm
can't
saying
because
white
it's
people
always going to be
have the
men.
power. Why would you say black people deserve rights in the 60s if white men have the power. If white men recreate the laws, they are the military.
Who's talking about?
Make the same argument
that's
about
not
black people in the,
that's
in
not
the
my
50s and
argument.
60s.
Again, that is.
I know it's not your argument, but I'm saying that logically that would have to be your argument.
Well, even if that's the case, I'm fine with that, and that would be the reality of things. So
okay,
we can look through.
Put black people don't deserve
so listen, real quick. Stop it. You're
Yeah.
viewing things from a moral perspective instead of viewing things from a descriptive perspective. So I'm not making real quick. I'm not making a moral argument. So my position when I say that women don't deserve equal rights, this isn't a moral argument. This is a descriptive argument that descriptively women cannot enforce their own rights. They always have to appeal to men to enforce their rights for them. And they can't enforce rights for the men. Thus, well, they don't deserve it because they're physically incapable of doing it. Women are. Now, if you flip it and you want to speak about race, that's totally fine. Speak about race, and I would point to places in history. I would point to places currently today where there's black countries currently that black men enforces rights for other black men, and they enforce rights for black women. If we look in history, there has been the Barbary pirates. They took away the rights of white folks because they enslaved over 1 million white Europeans. So it doesn't matter. Real quick. It's not a moral position that I'm making, like this is wrong and this is bad. I'm making a descriptive position about reality that rights equals force. Men have the monopoly on force. Thus, women cannot enforce any rights for themselves or for men. So it can never be equal, which is why they don't deserve equal rights, because it can never be equal. But for men, black men, Hispanic men, whatever race, well, that's just not true. Because men, we share a very similar physical capacity between all of the races. And we see throughout history, each race of men enslave other race of men, meaning they took rights away from other men that had different races.
And they
so
deserved
you're not
it. And they
listen,
deserved
you're
it,
not
right? And
when you speak about deserve, I'm not speaking about it from a moral perspective.
No, I know.
I'm speaking about it from a descriptive perspective. So don't equivocate. You keep on equivocate. So the first thing first you equivocated on the word rights. Now you're equivocating on the word deserve. And you keep doing it to try to prove a point, because look, what you're doing is just moving the goalpost because you can't comprehend what I'm saying.
No, I do understand what you're saying.
Okay, then still man my position. Go ahead.
I clearly understand that, but you're being provocative. But the point is that you're being provocative. It's very obvious that you're being provocative with that first answer. And what I'm saying is that you should put black people don't deserve equal rights on your list of things you want to debate about. Because I think
that's true.
Your exact same argument.
When black people was enslaved, they couldn't enforce their own rights.
They didn't.
So they didn't deserve it. They couldn't enforce it. That would be true. White folks, when they were enslaved by black folks, they didn't deserve their own rights because they couldn't enforce it. They couldn't earn it. That's true. It's a descriptive argument. It isn't a moral argument. I'm not saying that like it's bad or it's good. Do you get that? Like, what can't you comprehend, bro?
What's your point? No, what's your point?
I've already proven my point that women don't deserve equal rights, and you've agreed.
But if it's just a descriptive and not a normative claim, why would I ever care?
Well,
because
you don't care about descriptive reality. So does 1 + 1 equal 2?
Because everybody agrees.
You don't care about truth. Does 1 + 1 equal 2?
Hold on.
Is that true?
Hold on. When you say women don't deserve equal rights, what people are assuming is that you're making a normative claim. That's provocative.
No. We've already made a clear distinction.
How about you stop interrupting me? How about you stop interrupting me?
You keep saying the wrong things, and you are straw-manning my position.
You said it's not a normative claim. Is it a normative claim or is it not a normative claim?
I've already said it's a descriptive of reality. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. Okay. So do you know what I mean? When I say normative claim?
Yeah. What we ought to do.
Okay. Yes. So that is your position. That is not a normative claim.
Okay. Right? So listen, real quick. Got it.
So everybody agrees. Everybody agrees. No, you just spoke for so long.
Can it be a normative claim?
It absolutely could be a normative claim. Yeah.
No, that's the difference between that's the thing that you're not grasping. Can it be a normative claim for women?
It can be a normative claim that I don't think that I think that women don't deserve rights. I don't think women deserve the right to vote.
Okay,
Obviously,
so I think that 1 + 1 should equal 17. What? Can that ever be true?
No, but
okay, so let me correlate it for you.
Claim.
Let me correlate it for you. If I say that listen, if I say that I think that 1 + 1 should equal 17, well, yeah, you can think that, but that would be untrue. It's impossible for 1 + 1 to equal 17, correct? Correct?
Yep.
Okay, it is impossible for women to have equal rights to men because women cannot enforce rights for themselves or enforce rights for men, thus is not equal. Men are the enforcers of rights. So meaning that it's impossible, it can never be the case for women and men to have equal rights. Thus, they don't deserve equal rights. It's not a it's not a normative claim, it's a descriptive claim.
The reason what I mean when I say that it can be a normative claim, what I mean by it can be a normative claim is that somebody can go up on a podium. Holy fucking shit!
Can 1 + 1 equaling 17? Can that be a normative claim?
I'm
How can it be a one? If it's descriptive of reality, how can it be a normative claim?
Explain my fucking point. Go ahead. My point.
Go ahead. Explain it.
Shit.
Go ahead. And I got some more people up here too. I'm going to get y'all up.
I understand that, but with those next people, don't interrupt them as much as you're interrupting me.
All right, you don't set the tone or the rules here, buddy. So chill out and go ahead and finish with your point.
My point is that what it could be described as a normative claim is somebody going up on a podium and saying women should not have the right to vote, women should not have the right, or women do not deserve the right to vote, women do not deserve XYZ. That would be a normative statement, correct? Would that not be a normative statement?
That has nothing to do with you're just moving the goalpost now.
You said you can't interpret that as a normative claim, and I'm defeating your point.
Again,
I'm not moving the goalpost.
Okay, let me respond. I'm going to respond, and I'm going to address it, and I'm going to show how you just move the goalpost. When we were speaking about descriptive claims and normative claims, we were speaking specifically about rights themselves. So women don't deserve equal rights. We were speaking about that.
Yep.
That being normative or descriptive, not the certain types of rights women may have, should have, or shouldn't have. We're speaking about rights themselves, not certain types of rights. So when we're speaking about rights themselves, right, just a right itself, well, the truth is, descriptively, 1 + 1 can never equal 17. Descriptively, a woman can never enforce rights for herself or for men. Thus, well, it would never be equal to she would never be equal to a man. Women in general in society wouldn't be equal to a man because men are the enforcers of rights. Do you get that? Like descriptively, that's true.
I understand what you're saying, but like we're just gonna go back in circles if I address it.
I'm gonna get the next caller, bro. Have a good one.
Hold on. Can I just say? All right, whatever.
No, go ahead. What's up? You got something else?
Well, I'm just saying. I'm saying the extent to your logic. Once we're going back to the race issue, I'm saying I could make the exact same argument about black people in the 50s and 60s.
Go ahead.
I can make the exact. Okay, so then,
it's not a moral argument. If you make a moral argument,
you know that you're being provocative.
No, listen. If I'm making a moral argument, then we can argue morality. Should women have equal rights to men? Should black folks have equal rights to white men? So these would be a normative claims. I'm making a claim about a descriptive claim about reality. We're not speaking about the should. We're speaking about what is. Like 1 + 1 equals 2. That is true. It cannot be 17. Men enforce rights. Women cannot enforce rights. That is true. Women can never enforce rights for men. Do you get that? Like, what don't you understand?
Yes. If your argument, no. If that is your argument, then my point is that if you're not really making a normative claim, and you're just saying that because men dominate leadership roles and because men dominate society, they determine what is and is not equal rights in the same way that in the 50s and 60s, white people will determine what is and not equal rights for black people. What I'm saying is that nobody disagrees with you. what I'm saying is that the point that you're making is like arbitrary, and it's like you're just being kind of provocative.
No, that would be
just to, like,
that would be
into the coming.
You got to stop being sensitive.
No sociologist.
No, listen, I'm the black person up here, and you're so sensitive. Listen, that would be factually true. Or like, are you are you scared of truth?
No. What I'm saying is that I agree with I agree with your weird fundamental point, but the point is that it serves no value. You're not actually making a real argument.
It does.
Nobody disagrees with you.
Well, now let's argue that. You're saying that pointing out things that are descriptively true serve no value. I would disagree, because I think that it's good to know the truth. So like 1 + 1 = 2. I would say that that's good to know the truth. Things that happened in history, like slavery and stuff like that, it can be morally bad or morally good, depending on certain things. But knowing about the truth of history, well, that will be something that's good. So descriptively speaking, I'm just trying to elucidate this for you, because you're still not understanding between oughts and descriptives.
No, I obviously understand that.
Obviously you don't, because you're still trying to tangle the two together, and I've been untangling it for you.
I've just made the point. I just very clearly reiterated the point that on a descriptive level, what you're saying is just not really like.
You said it doesn't serve any purpose.
Yeah, it doesn't serve any purpose. And
it does.
On a normative level, what you're saying does serve a purpose. But on a descriptive level, what you're saying is kind of just like
I'll demonstrate
arbitrary, and like everybody already agrees with what you're saying.
Okay, no, you didn't agree at first. I'll demonstrate it. Ought we follow?
I thought you were making a normative claim.
Ought we know the true versus the false?
Yeah, obviously.
Okay, got it. So if we saying ought we know the true versus the false, this would be something that serves a purpose. It serves us a purpose to know what is true rather than what is false. I already demonstrated to you how women do not deserve equal rights because they cannot enforce rights for themselves or for men. Thus, they would never be equal to men, because men are the enforcers of rights. It's a purpose to know that truth, right? It's a purpose to know the truth that 1 + 1 = 2 and not 17. Because if it equals 17, that will be a lie. That's what? No, we need the ability to discern the true versus the false. Now, if you want to have a moral debate, we can get into a moral debate on what I think or you think ought to be the case. But you have to agree with reality that it can't even be the case for women to enforce rights for men or for themselves. That can't be the case, just like 1 + 1 can't equal 17.
Yeah, I agree, I guess, on a basic level.
There we go.
With what you're saying.
All right, man, I'll get someone else up.
Oh my God, are you?
Yo, what? Like, homie just did not understand anything. That was crazy, bro. That was crazy. All right, chat, get the likes up, man. We're live right now on a few platforms: TikTok, Facebook, X, Kick. We're live on them all. So get the likes up. If you have any questions for me, donate, send in some super chats. Let's go. I see we got someone backstage on YouTube. Darnell, I see you backstage. If you can write in the private chat, Darnell, and let me know what you want to debate about, that would be perfect. So write in the private chat on Restream. Let me know exactly what topic you want to debate. For the other folks, we got a lot of folks in here that requested to come on up. I'm going to go ahead and get you guys up. We got Bobby, God Representative. We got Austin. We got Millie. We got Felipe, Solid, Fella B, and I think that's all right now. So 7 folks backstage. Going to go ahead and get you guys up. But Darnell, if you can write me in a private chat, that'll be perfect. Welcome to No Fugazee Podcast. Let me get your name and age.
Hi. My name is Leonie. I am 29 years old.
Okay, Leonie. And what prompt do you want to debate?
I would love to debate the first prompt.
Okay. Women don't deserve equal rights. All right. I'm sure you heard me speaking about this already. So what's your argument? Why do you think women do deserve equal rights?
Not really. No, I just got here, so I would love to know your argument, if that's okay.
Okay, I already just hashed this out with the other guy, but I'll go ahead and explain it to you. Totally fine. So my argument
sorry, I just got here, so.
Totally fine. So my argument is super simple. When I say women don't deserve equal rights, let's look at a few words, a few terms. Let's define our terms. So deserve, what's the meaning of deserve? Deserve would be something that's earned, something that's warranted. Those are like synonyms to understand and give meaning, that gives meaning to the word deserve. When we look at the word rights, like rights themselves, well, that's a little bit more complex, right? This would be something that we would have to speak about. So let me ask you, what do you think a right truly is?
Well, so far you've explained to me the word deserve, but I would what I want to debate is why women deserve less than men. That's what I want to know.
Well, I mean, that's not what I said, but I guess you can take it. You can take it from there.
I mean, no, I can answer your question, but I mean, like, I would love to know what your argument is first for me to debate it.
Okay. All right. So I'll just go ahead and give you my argument, and then we can go ahead and untangle it down the road. I wanted to do the semantics first, so we don't have to go through it, but it's totally fine. So the argument is this: rights equals force. That's my belief, my position. Every right equals force. So rights are a social construct. It's things that people agree on, but the social construct, how does this social construct come to reality? Well, it needs to be upheld and enforced. And since it's the case that, it's going to resort down to some sort of violence, and men and women do not share the same physical capacity, men are vastly stronger than women. When we look currently in today's time and throughout history, all of the police force and the military has been majority of men, if not 100% of men. Thus, rights equals force. So any type of right you think you have, a right to walk down the street, a right to go to school, a right to vote, these are things that all are upheld by a collection of men. Thus, women do not deserve equal rights because they can't enforce rights for themselves and they can't enforce rights for other men. If they could enforce rights for themselves and other men, then I would say that, well, this wouldn't be my prompt. I would say that it's equal then. Men and women are equal. We can both enforce our own rights.
Okay. Well, thank you for explaining that. I did want to have more insight because it's important. So when you say that women and obviously men are physically stronger, would you agree on the premise that men and women are very different? Women are better at some things and men are better at some things. Would you agree with that?
Well, generally, sure, there can be some women that's better at certain things than men. And there's certain things that men are better at than women. Generally, I would say sure.
Okay. So in which case, I think that kind of cancels out your argument because you take the one thing that men are better at, which is obviously we know it's a fact that that men are physically stronger than women, and you apply it to the rights. Versus the fact that women are way stronger at so many other things that are not physical. For example,
so, again,
men would not be able to reproduce. When men would not be able to reproduce without women being present, right? We were given the right. I know I've seen you go around. You're religious. I'm not, but. If we take just the reproduction right, women have been given by God, by the universe, whatever you believe in, the right to reproduce, and the ability to reproduce. That on its own is something that men would never be able to do. So if I were to take your argument that, hey, men are stronger in this, right, in this one aspect, and so that gives them the right to have more rights than women, I can come in and say, hey, women have these abilities to do X, Y, and Z, and we can debate the things that women and men, women are better at than men. We can debate that all day, and I'm sure we'll disagree on some things. When it comes to, let's just take the reproduction fact, women can make babies, men can't, right? That would give, based on your view, women more right than men, right? I don't agree, by the way. I don't agree with your fact that women don't deserve equal rights.
Yeah,
but if I were to
real
go
quick,
based
let
on
me,
your,
because you were, kind of speed rolling there. So let's just tackle a few things that you said there, right? So I think your argument, the crux of your argument is standing on two pillars, right? And one of the pillars is that, well, generally men and women are better at certain things than one another. That's one pillar. The other pillar is, women can birth babies. So those two pillars, right?
That's one example, yes.
Okay, got it. So those two pillars does not refute the position, because when we're looking at what a right is things that it's concepts. It's a social construct, something that we would agree on, right? That's all it is. Do you agree? Like a right is things that we agree that we should have?
By we, who's we?
People in society.
Okay, well, that goes into a whole different thing because, okay, I live in France, right? The rights that I have or the rights that are agreed upon in this society are not the same that you have. I'm guessing you're in the United States of America. Rights are defined, right?
Yeah,
in a certain manner, that it's fluid. So I would say that we don't all agree on the same rights, but sure.
All right. We may not agree. Everybody may not agree on the same right, but a right itself is a social construct. Like when you think of a right, well, I have a right to do this. I have a right to walk down the street. I have a right to go to the school. I have a right to teach my kids. I have a right to do all of these things. These are all things that we think about. And then a collection of people agree on these things. And then what actually makes that come true? My argument is I'm saying that, well, what makes it come true is going to reduce down to violence. It's going to reduce down to if me and you agree that you have a right to walk down a street. That's what me and you agree on, right? You, my lady, hypothetically. Hey, honey, you got a right to walk down that street. And you're like, okay, honey, I'm going to go ahead and walk down that street. And then three dudes come out of nowhere with machetes and guns. And they're like, woman, you don't have a right to walk down the street. So then you're going to look at me like, honey, I thought you said I have a right. I'm going to come out the house with my blicky, but it's a 3-on-1. So the probability is very slim for me to enforce the right for you. Because it's just me versus three men with guns, machetes, and all of this. So generally speaking, in that situation, most men are going to lose. So I'm not going to be able to uphold this idea that me and you agreed on, because I'm going to get killed off and they're going to take you, right? So when we look at what a right is, what it simply reduces down to is violence. To actually make that thing, be true and uphold that idea. You get what I'm saying? Well, so when your one pillar, look, when we're looking at your one, when we're looking at your one pillar, and that one pillar is, it is men and women are generally better at certain things, than one another. That's great, but what's the one thing that can uphold or enforce this idea that we have in our minds? Well, that one thing is going to come down to the physical differences between men and women. Men are vastly stronger, which you agreed. Thus, men are going to be more capable to enforce and uphold the right. Like, it's not going to come down to who can do the best makeup, who can read better, who can write, who has empathy. It's not going to come down to empathy. It's going to come down to force.
Down to who can outsmart the other. It could come down to that. And women in a lot of cases, can outsmart men in a lot of cases. Would you agree?
Okay. So what can I do? Let's use the same scenario, right? Actually, let's use you. Same scenario, but it's just you. I didn't come to your rescue yet. So we agree that you have a right to walk down the street. You start walking down the street, la-di-da-di-da-di. 3 guys come with a machete and 2 with guns. How can you outsmart them?
Well, there's obviously in this hypothetical scenario where I'm walking down the street and people walk up to me. There's a bajillion ways you can outsmart them.
You're not answering the question. Go ahead.
To them, you can give them incentives.
No, they don't want you to walk down that street. They disagree. They're not willing to compromise.
Well, in what world is that the case? In what world?
That's the world.
You just brought up an extremely hypothetical scenario that you made up to prove your point that because men are going to enforce rights using violence, right? That women shouldn't have equal rights.
So let's live in reality real quick. Is your name Luna?
Let's live in reality.
So Luna, let's live in reality.
Yeah.
In reality, are there always, universally, are there always going to be people that disagree with you?
Sure.
Okay, if that's reality, then my hypothetical is not that far off. My hypothetical is literally based in reality, meaning that you think that you have a right to walk down the street. There's people that think that you don't. They disagree with you. They're not willing to compromise. Why do you think we have 2 political parties, the Democrats and the Republicans? They disagree. They're not willing to compromise on certain things. The Dems, you know what? A man can be a woman and a woman can be a man. They don't want to compromise on that. And guess what? The Republicans, they're not compromising either. No, there's only 2 genders. There's only 2 sexes. You get what I'm saying? So we know in reality that people do not compromise. Things resort down to violence. And I'm simply stating here that when you look at a right, what it truly is, it equals force. It equals someone's ability to enforce their beliefs on someone else. That's what it equals.
Well, in a democracy, that's not the case because there's consequences to the violence that you will when you will enforce or use violence. So no,
How can we have a democracy? Having a democracy means that we have a right to have a democracy. There's someone that's upholding the democracy.
The government is upholding the democracy.
Okay, so if it's the case that the government is upholding this idea of a democracy, this means that there's going to be men that is enforcing this idea of a democracy. So we only have a democracy because men enforce a democracy. Tomorrow, if a collection of men come together and say, you know what, we don't have a democracy no more, we're going to defeat the people that think that we have a democracy. If they win, we don't have a democracy. If they lose, well, we still got a democracy. But my point still stands that it's going to be men to enforce the ideas that we have in our mind.
Not necessarily. It can be. Why do you keep saying men need to enforce this idea? Why is the center of this argument men need to do X, Y, and Z? Society has men and women. Both men and women are in the government. Both men and women enforce things in their own way. We don't live in a world. We don't live in a primitive world where everybody can do whatever they want.
You know why?
There is such a thing.
Wait, do you know why we don't live in a primitive world where everyone can do whatever they want? You know why?
I would love for you to tell me.
Yeah. It has nothing to do with women. It has everything to do with men. Men create order in societies. Women do not create order in societies. We're speaking about the thing.
Because there are matriarchal societies all around the world. Obviously.
Has there ever been a matriarchy that stood the test of time?
Well, we're talking about primitive societies here. You just mentioned, I'm speaking specifically about primitive societies. There is right now in Africa, tribes right now ran strictly by women that are still existing right now. So yes, they do exist. Just because in your world, in your small world of the United States of America or Northern America exists.
Please name the tribe.
I don't have the name off the top of my head, but they do exist. I'm happy to Google it.
It's a lie. But listen, there's not a tribe.
I literally grew up in North Africa.
I got you. Okay. If there is a tribe of women, like some Amazonian chicks that come together and they're just doing their thing, they're like all empathetic and sensitive to one another, and on their periods they get together and hold hands or something. I don't know what type of tribe that'd be, but it sounds like that's what it would look like. Now, if there is a tribe like that, well, the only way it can be a tribe like that is men allow it to be a tribe like that. Because guess what? Men, listen, we got needs. And if we see a bunch of women together, hey, them chicks look like they finna be my chicks over there. So the only way that they can have a tribe is if we allow them to have a tribe. Thus, they're not giving themselves the right to this tribe. Men are allowing them to have this tribe by our own benevolence.
No, that's not okay. I'll answer your question, but I just pulled it up. I have like a bunch of names right now, right in front of me. There is the Mosuo. I'm probably not pronouncing these names right, but there's a tribe in China called Mosuo. There is the Minangkabau tribe in Indonesia. All of these are tribes considered.
Okay, so there's tribes.
By women. Anyway, I cannot.
Okay, listen, no, you just proved my point and you refuted your own. You said that there's tribe. I'm gonna explain. You said that there's tribes and countries. You named countries. You named a country in Africa, and you named Indonesia. So you're naming countries. There's tribes and a country. And what's a country consist of? A country consists of a government, right? And a collection of men, a military that enforces all the things that they want inside this country. So if there is a tribe in some country of women, it's because men allow it to be a tribe. Now you need to point to, listen, you need to point to a country, a nation state. You need to point to something like that that's filled with women enforcing rights for other men and rights for themselves. A society is a collection of men and women. If you point to a tribe, there can be a tribe of some chicks that's in a country already that's built to protect them. That's totally fine. They're allowed to have that. We're speaking about a matriarchy. A matriarchy is a nation state, a country.
Can I just point out before I answer to your point?
Sure, go ahead.
I've noticed in your argument, you keep calling women chicks and men, and I think that's extremely biased.
Okay, I don't care about your emotional state, lady.
It's not emotional.
Lady,
it's not emotional.
real quick, I don't care about. Lady, I have an observation. My observation is that you're being emotional right now. Your emotions does not win an argument. Right? So I don't care about your emotional state. It's actually a logical fallacy to appeal to emotions to try to like make a point. And that's silly. Your observation shows your observation. Guess what? Your observation is projecting your emotional state.
You do not. You subconsciously will never get to a point where you're open enough for a debate like this to change your mind.
I'm the only one that's debating. And you are making a logical fallacy, which is appeal to emotions. So I don't care about your emotional state. And my observation is that you're just projecting your emotions because you're saying that, well, you're never really going to get across to other women because you call women chicks and you call men men. That's your emotional state. No one cares about that. That's not an argument.
Okay. I understand what's going on. Okay. You obviously, I don't know your people very well, but it's very much a misogynistic thing.
Another emotional state argument, misogynistic. Well, can you prove that it's misogynistic?
What can I prove that what is misogynistic?
You're making statements and claims. Can you demonstrate how my platform is a misogynistic platform, which basically, essentially, that's what you're saying?
Before I answer your question, I want to, for one, what I said about the observation is not emotional, because it tells you subconsciously that you are somebody who, obviously a debate is a back and forth, that at the end, hopefully somebody will change their mind, or at least will get to a certain consensus, right? That is what a debate is. The fact that you use different language to refer to men and women shows subconsciously that you will never be open to a different idea that is different from yours. That's why it's not an emotional argument. It just shows your state. So when I realized
how can you well, actually, I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
It's fine.
So you were attempting to psychoanalyze me, and your analysis of me, because that's what you were trying to do. You're telling me how I view the world from my perspective, right? So once again, that's what you just attempted to do.
I'm telling you.
So now you're lying.
I'm not lying. Okay, I'm telling, that's exactly what I said. I'm telling you that I want to let you know that there is a bias. I'm not telling you how you view the world. I don't know anything about you, by the way. I landed on the stream. I saw that I don't know who you are. I've seen you around. So I wanted to debate an idea. It has nothing to do against you or me. I'm telling you that you have a certain bias that could be harmful to debates like these.
Okay, so I have a certain bias. So how do you know that I have a certain bias without psychoanalyzing me?
Okay, explain to me.
Wait,
why
and can you answer that question? How do you know? You tried to say that real quick. You tried to state that you weren't psychoanalyzing me. I'm letting you know that, you were, and answer this question. How do you know that I have a bias without psychoanalyzing me?
I can tell you by watching your words, saying that you refer to men as men and referring to women as chicks. Explain to me.
What's the conclusion?
Okay, explain to me why that different.
So, no, you're asking me a question, real quick. You're asking me a question without answering my question. The conclusion, how can you truly know that I have a bias if you're not projecting what you think I think about women? Just because I use a different term and I say call women chicks, this doesn't mean that I look at, a woman as less than or anything. This would be this would be you imprinting your view of what chicks are. That's what that is. No, again, you're interrupting me while I'm speaking. I didn't interrupt you. I'm actually letting you speak, but you're never answering the question. So again, you're making a strong claim here, and the claim is strong. You're saying that, Cooley, you basically have a misogynistic platform, and you're never going to get anywhere because you have a bias against women. And I'm asking you, real quick, I'm asking you, this bias that I have against women, how did you determine that? You determined this from psychoanalyzing me. This would be true, right? How else can you determine this?
All of that. I didn't realize.
Can you just say yes because that's what you're doing? Can you say yes so we can move on and then I can cook you? Which one? Can you just say yes?
No, I'm not going to say yes.
Okay, so you're not.
No.
Okay, so how do you psychoanalyze someone how can you say that someone has a bias without psychoanalyzing them?
Because I don't need to psychoanalyze you to make a.
You're telling me. So real quick.
You're not letting me.
The word chick. No, because you're not answering the question. The word chick, right?
I was.
You think the word chick, does it have a negative connotation to you? The word chicks?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Okay, so wait. If the word chicks doesn't have a negative connotation to you, then the word man, does that have a negative connotation to you?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so if the word chicks, you have a problem with the word chicks, but it doesn't have a negative connotation.
I don't. That's the
so
whole
now
thing.
you're gaslighting? You literally just got upset and emotional about the word chicks.
I don't have an issue with the word chick. I don't have an issue with the word men. What I said is you said your name is Cooley?
Just answer the question, woman.
I'm going to say my point. If you're not going to let me say my point, there's no point.
I've been letting you speak. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm saying look at the difference, okay? Obviously, different words have different meaning. You use them in a different scenario, okay? When you refer to men as men while you're talking without realizing it, you're saying men and men and men, you would, expect somebody who thinks of people as,
so
equal. If you said dudes, just let me finish. If you said dudes, or any other equal word to chicks. If you said dudes, guys, whatever, you would be using that language that is equivalent to chicks, right? Because you're talking that way. That's your tone. That's
okay. So how is it biased?
Okay, I would like to finish.
No, how is it biased? If it's equal, there's no negative connotation to it. Stop it. Listen. If it's equal, there's no negative connotation to the word chicks or men or anything like that. Then please point out the biasness. How is it biased? How am I biased? How am I a misogynist?
Because the word, would you agree that we use different words in different contexts? Would you agree?
Are you contradicting yourself now?
No. Okay. Like,
does the word no. Instead of ask, listen real quick. Here's Luna. I got you, Luna. You're gonna get there, Luna. Luna, trust me. You're gonna get Luna. I'm trying to help you out, Luna. I got you, Luna. Listen, the entire chat wants you to answer at least one of my questions, Luna. Please. So just answer this one question.
If you stop cutting,
I got you. But Luna, you can't. I'm gonna let you know what you're doing. When I ask you a question, you actually never answer it. You then resort to asking me a question, and then you make assertions.
Well, when I start answering it, you stop.
So
and
Luna,
you say something else.
Listen to this. You said that I'm biased. The reason why you said I'm biased, don't gaslight and lie, is because I call women chicks and I call men men. So if there's a bias there, but then you say that, well, there's no negative connotation to chicks and there's no negative connotation to men, it's equal terms for men and women, then where's the bias? That's what I'm asking you. Where is the bias?
Okay.
Answer that. Sure, go ahead.
Can I talk without you interrupting me this time?
But no, real quick. I need an answer. Go ahead. Where's the bias?
Okay, wonderful. When we are linguistically speaking and you're using a word that you would use in a different context, obviously when you're talking to me versus you're talking to your family, you're talking to your guy friends, you're going to use different language. Would you agree with that? Yes. I mean, don't answer that. Let me answer your question.
Chat. See, she can't answer a question.
When you're talking.
What? Just answer the question. Where's the bias?
I would like to continue talking if you'd like to hear the question. Otherwise, I can just get off. It's not an issue.
I don't want you to.
If you'd let me finish,
Luna, I want you to answer my question, not ask me a question.
I am answering your question. You use different, not you, but all of us use different language when we're talking to in different contexts, okay? The word chick is not a negative word. However, it is used in a different context depending on who you're talking to, okay? When you say, men, the equivalent of it is women. When you say chicks, the equivalent of it is guys, dudes, whatever. So it's not a negative connotation, but you switched your tone around when you started talking about women in your sentence, because if you didn't, you would have used an equivalent word. We use the word chicks when men are talking to each other, they use the word chicks. When women are talking to each other and they're like, oh my gosh, this guy is so cute. You don't say this man. You rarely say this man is so cute unless you're obviously angry. So it's a different linguistic value. It's not that it's a negative connotation. It's a different value. So that shows your bias.
Okay, got it.
Well, thank you. We
Are you done?
We got somewhere because at least I finished my point. So
okay, got it. Now listen to this, right? Yeah. Now, if the bias is in the context and how I use it, right? Mm-hmm. How would you know the context of how I'm using the word chicks without psychoanalyzing me? already told you. You need to agree that you are psychoanalyzing me so we can just move on, and then I can cook you and I can give you and then I can psychoanalyze you. You want me to psychoanalyze you? Here's me psychoanalyzing you. Here's what I think that you think the way you think because you are indoctrinated by feminism. You're indoctrinated by women and the liberal movement, and you have this negative biased view against men. I actually think. Wait, Luna. I'm talking. I need you to hush.
No, who is psychoanalyzing the other? Look at you backtracking. Love it. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Okay, Luna, I need you to be quiet real quick. Again, I don't have a problem.
Be quiet, honey.
Luna, I'll let you speak.
One thing I'm not going to do is be quiet.
I got you. I noticed that you were psychoanalyzing me. I don't have a problem with that. I'm letting you know, Luna, I'm letting you know that I'm just psychoanalyzing you back. Do you get it? Right? So this is me psychoanalyzing you. So what I observed from you is that you are a misandrist. You call me a misogynist, a misogynistic. You are a misandrist. You have this biased view against men because you probably come from a broken home. You probably was promiscuous in your past. Do you have a man?
I don't come from a broken home.
Do you have a man?
I have an amazing relationship with my parents.
Or do you have a man?
Both of my parents that were still
No, that's not my question. Do you have a man?
Why are we talking about me? My personal life has nothing
because
to do
I know
with
you don't have a man. Because the way you view men, I know you don't have a man. You don't have a man. You're single. You're a single 30-year-old woman. This is me psychoanalyzing you. Here's my psychoanalysis of you. You are a single. Stop talking while I'm speaking. You're muted now. You are a single 30-year-old woman and you're washed up. You look horrible. Your forehead is big and your makeup is popping all crazy. Get out of here. And she ran off looking all silly. Looking silly. Look, the crazy thing is, chat, she couldn't handle the heat. She can be on my stream, call me a misogynist. She can say that, oh, I have a bias against women. All of these things with no evidence, just assertions. Then I cook her, I get her down to everything that basically she's just psychoanalyzing me. And if that's the case, if you're psychoanalyzing me, then it's fair for me to psychoanalyze you. But it's funny how when her feet is in a fire, she wants to go ahead and run off, right?
Why are you running? Why are you running?
She wants to go ahead and jump off stream because she can't handle me cooking her. We can tell that she's a 30-year-old single woman that can't get a man and can't keep a man that she wants. Now, of course, guy standards are low. So it's going to be some guys that maybe want a relationship with her. But the guys that want a relationship with her, she doesn't want a relationship with them. Therefore, she can't attract and retain the type of man that she truly wants. She is cooked. Finito. She's done. And she's mad because I read through her like glass. Truly read through her like glass. So, wait. Whose psychoanalysis was accurate based off of what we've seen? We would have to say that, well, Cooley didn't run off stream, right? When she called him a misogynist and called him biased. But when Cooley psychoanalyzed her, called her a misandrist, pointed out that she was indoctrinated via feminism, pointed out that she views men in a biased way, in a very negative way, pointed out she's most likely a single woman that can't attract and retain the man that she wants, she runs. She runs, chat. Hey, man. Easy cookings. Easy cookings. And it's so funny, like, I'm going to bring some more people up, too. I see you guys in here that want to debate. Darnell, you said it's not a debate. I want to refuse the previous speaker. Good. Okay. Got it. I see you back here. Darnell, I don't know if you're a member, but you just can't come up on here. You have to show me that you're a member. If you are a member, then, I'll have you engage with other debaters. But if you're not, then yeah. So let me know in private chat that you are or aren't a member, and then I'll go ahead and verify that. But it's funny how when I said that she was psychoanalyzing me, she got like triggered. She didn't want to say yeah. So then I'm asking her to, well, point out the bias. You said that I'm biased because I call women chicks. And, you know, I call men. Okay, great. If there's a bias there, point it out. And she goes to point out the bias and she speaks about the context of the word chicks and how people can use it in different contexts. And then I say, well, how would you know the context that I'm using chicks in? And if it's going to be the negative connotation or not the negative connotation without psychoanalyzing me. Cooked her right there. She couldn't do it. So therefore, she was speaking from a feels perspective rather than a reals perspective. She was just giving us her emotional state. And we don't got time for that, woman. Right? We ain't got time for that, chick. Now, there's some homework for you. Well, which one was the context? Was the chick the negative connotation or the woman the negative connotation? Because guess what, woman and chick, either or can be a negative connotation. Either or could be biased depending on what the person means from using the word. The only way you can kind of get an idea of what the person means by using the word is by psychoanalyzing them. So that's all she was doing, giving us her psychoanalysis of Cooley on stream. And then she got cooked. Oh man, this was good. All right, let's get some more people up. We got Unc Will, we got XO Jamie, we got 808 Universe, Millie, see you in here, Bobby, Austin, Felipe, and God Presents. Let's start with this person. Yeah, bro, she got cooked bad. I see y'all in the chat, bro. Let me get to some of these super chats too on YouTube, because they finna pile up back here too. All right, we got BB. He says TikTok in the membrane, insane in the brain. Put your hands up. Oh man, we got Vexed. He sends in 5. He says she couldn't get out of her own head. Yeah, bro. She was just projecting how she feels. Like, no one cares about your projections, woman. Find you a man. Project yourself a good man that you want, and he wants you back. Like, she worried about me trying to psychoanalyze me. She needs to psychoanalyze a man so she can attract and retain the guy that she wants. This chick over here trying to do a psychoanalysis. You need to take your psyche to try to find you a man. All right, let me see. Who else we got in here? We got OG Dog Pound. He joined the membership for 6 months. Appreciate the support, man.
No Fugazee.
He says, did you just cook roast chicken? Yeah, man, she got cooked. Well, I cooked the last dude that was up here too, and they both got cooked. They got cooked something bad, man. They got cooked something bad. We got Darnell. He became a member at the gang tier. Okay, Darnell, I see you back here. So Darnell, how it works here, man, when I'm going live, if you want to debate certain people, you can debate certain people that I have up, but it's a time and a place for that, right? So when I open the panel up, then I'll start bringing the members up to debate people if they request. So that's how it works. All right. Like, and one thing for the members, you guys need to understand via YouTube, you don't own me or the show. So like, if I'm currently engaging in a debate and you're like, yo, let me get up in here, like, chill out, little buddy. This is my platform. I built this, right? One of the privileges that you get with becoming a member, just one of them, is that when I open it up, then you get to come up here and spar with other people and debate these other people. But you don't like run anything. Just because you're a member and you're backstage asking to come up, that doesn't mean that you're going to come up. And there's nothing against Darnell. I'm just letting, the other folks in the chat as well, too. I've never had a problem like this, but I'm just letting you guys know, right? And nothing against you, Darnell. and you could have been a supporter of mine before in the past, and maybe you just renewed your membership, which is great. But again, it's solely debate night, right? This channel does not operate without me creating the content. So I'm the A mic. When I bring up you members to debate, you are the B mic. You're subordinate under me. So you just got to remember that. And if you're emotional, like Luna was, which I don't think any of the members are. If you're a member of this channel, you're not emotional. So you guys get what I'm saying. But let's just say one of you are emotional like Luna. Then I don't care. Unsubscribe. Don't be a member. This ain't Burger King. You can't have it your way. Right? I'll submit to no man. I'm my own boss for a reason, so I ain't got to submit to nobody. You niggas still got to submit to somewhere in some shape or form. Now, of course, I mean, we're living in a country and men protect the borders and the infrastructure. So, yeah, there's some sort of, something there, but it isn't in a sense of you guys are going to try to run my stream. It don't work that way. All right, let's try another person. I guess that person wasn't ready. Let's bring up, let's try this again. Welcome to No Fugazee Podcast. Let me get your name and age.
Hello, I'm Millie, and I'm 18 years old.
Okay. You're 18 years old, and God represents, God representative, you're up next, because I see that you're writing in a chat, but you are up next. Okay, and what prompt do you want to debate?
I want to question you about the second one. If atheism is true, knowledge is impossible. What do you mean by that?
Yeah. So if atheism is true, my claim is knowledge is impossible. So I'm making an argument that knowledge is only possible with God. Knowledge would be impossible without God. If we're looking at an atheist belief where they don't believe in a creator, an almighty God, well, normally it's going to reduce down to some sort of deterministic worldview. Normally that's what it generally tends to reduce down to. And if it's a deterministic position, well, knowledge is to have the ability to adjudicate the false versus the true. Well, if it's determined for you to believe in the false, or it's determined for you to be manipulated, then how can you adjudicate whether if something is true or false, which knowledge would be impossible under that worldview?
Me, myself, I am an atheist. I don't believe there is a God. Other than proof, they talk about the Bible, but other than the Bible, what is there to prove there's God? There is none.
Are you making a statement, asking a question?
No, I'm just telling you about that.
Try to wrestle with the prompt.
Do you believe that God is real? Is that basically what you're saying?
Yeah,
or something similar towards that?
Yeah, I believe that God is real.
Why do you believe in that?
With the transcendental argument for God.
Oh. But what is your proof that God is real and towards it, that atheism is true or whatever? My
proof is the transcendental argument for God.
What is that?
Okay,
sorry, my apologies. What is that?
The transcendental argument is an argument to prove God existence, and it's done by, when we look at transcendentals. So transcendentals under my worldview would be categories like logic, induction, categories like the self, like reason itself. All of these categories, like logic, reason, induction, deduction, all of these things have some uniformity. You can't have one without the other. There needs to be something that's holding them together. Now, you can't find logic in a microscope. You can't find reason in a microscope. These things can't be empirically proven. These things are what we assume in our worldviews. Now, my worldview of Christian ethics, I can give an epistemic justification for the possibility for these transcendental categories. I don't think in an atheist position you can give a coherent and consistent account or epistemic justification for the possibility of these transcendental categories like logic, reason, induction, deduction, predication. All of these transcendental categories come together for us to have intelligibility, in order for us to have knowledge itself. So the transcendental argument for God is me showing that it's impossible for the atheist to give an account for these transcendental categories. So it's the possibility of the contrary. Thus, the Christian worldview can give an account in an epistemic justification for the transcendental categories. Thus, God is true and God is real.
To be honest,
You didn't understand anything I said, did you?
I did most of it.
Fair enough.
Oh my god. Well, to be honest, knowledge is impossible for the most part. That even if you are a Christian, even if you are an atheism, knowledge is impossible and forever will be. What's it called? Atheists are more facts. They are proven by science. And Christianity is just straight up belief, which is, like I said, is when you just assume and think of it.
Okay, if everything is just based off of, empirical evidence, then how do you solve the problem of criterion?
The hell is that?
Yeah, you're not prepared to have this discussion. Goodbye.
Yeah, sure. Goodbye.
Goodbye. All right. She said, "What's that?" Oh, that was funny. All right, let's get some people up to debate. Let's go, chat. Let's go. Get the likes up too via YouTube. We got a lot of people on YouTube right now. Well, not a lot. We got a lot of people overall. I think we got a good amount of people. Probably it's looking like overall on all platforms, like 700 people. All right, not bad. Let's get this guy out. God presents, or God represents, a God representative, I'm sorry, just added you, but you're not ready. So request to come back up. Welcome to No Fugazee Podcast. Get your name and age.
Yeah, Austin, 28. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, all right. First prompt.
Okay. You want to debate the first prompt?
Yeah.
Sure. Go ahead. Let me know your point of contention.
Okay. I disagree that rights equals force, because the enforcement of a right is different from the right in itself. A right basically is an entitlement, a freedom, an agreement that someone has. So that needs to exist first before you have something to enforce. Like, you use an agreement as an example.
Is this entitlement absent any duty?
Sorry?
So you said that a right is an entitlement absent duty. That's essentially what you're saying, right?
Yeah, an entitlement, a freedom, or an agreement. Well,
okay.
Different sources.
It's absent duty, correct?
Some rights come from a duty. Okay. Not all of them.
A right itself, it's an entitlement.
A freedom.
A freedom. Okay, I hear you, but that's not, there's no duty in anything, but okay, got it. So a right is an entitlement, a freedom. Okay.
Yeah, so a duty can come from a right. Like, if we're to use an agreement as an example.
How can a duty come from a right?
So if we agree that you render me a service, and after rendering me the service, I pay you. If you render me the service, you have a right to be paid. I have a duty to pay you. So if you go to the cops or if you take them to court, the only reason that they take you seriously is because that right.
Where does this duty come from?
It comes from the agreement that we made. That agreement is a real thing, is what I'm trying to say. So that agreement gives you your rights.
Okay, so the duty comes after it, you mean? So the duty comes after the right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if we agree and you perform your service, then you have a right to be paid. If I refuse to pay you, then you have the right to recover your money through the police,
that's
through
fine.
The court. Yeah, so the right is different from enforcement.
No, I'm letting you know that, like, so rights themselves, if it's just, an entitlement, of a freedom that we have, and this thing is something, this entitlement of, and this freedom that we have, this is something that we agree on, right?
Most times, yeah.
Okay. So it's just a construct in our mind, right?
Well, it begins from a construct, but it becomes a real thing. Like,
okay.
If we
now
agree on something.
That's the part that I'm arguing. So this idea, any ideas you have, it's an idea. It's not in the material world, right? It's immaterial. So how does it come in the material world without enforcement?
So, unfortunately, it doesn't always come without enforcement, because there are cases when...
So you're not refuting my point, you're proving it.
No, actually, quite the opposite, man.
No, you're proving it.
Okay, let me give an example. You have the right to life, yeah?
No.
Let's say... No, you do have the right to life. Let's say Francis Ngannou...
No, I don't have a right to life.
Okay, hypothetically.
Okay,
you have the right to life.
Go ahead.
Well, and Francis Ngannou, one-on-one, hand-to-hand, he wants to off you right now. You may not be able to enforce that right to life, but that doesn't mean you didn't deserve the right to life. You actually do have that right. You just couldn't enforce it.
Under my worldview, we do have a right to life. Under Christian ethics, it's really no rights. We have a duty to life, so there's no rights. So under Christian ethics, there's no rights at all. There's a duty. We have a duty to treat one another respectfully. We have a duty to not murder, a duty to not steal, a duty to not do all of these degenerate acts. We also have a duty to do acts that are virtuous. So under my worldview, there aren't any rights. They're duties. Under your worldview, you just said that, well, the duties come after you already have the right. So rights to you under your worldview is just a privilege or an entitlement absent duty, and it's like a freedom. It's just a social construct. So if it's the case that rights are a social construct under your worldview, well, what's actually going to make that come true? What's going to make it come true under your worldview is going to come down to enforcement. Because if you say that you have a right to go to the bank, but then someone says that you don't have a right to go to the bank, well, it's going to come down to you enforcing your right over someone else's. You get it? So everything, that's what is going to come. For it to come to reality is going to come down to force. So you're incorrect.
Okay. Now, this is what I've been explaining. You're conflating the two. Independence.
If you don't, I don't got a lot of patience. So you got to make one good argument. Okay. So women don't deserve equal rights. You're saying that you have a problem with rights. You don't think that rights equals force. Can you please demonstrate how you can have a right if it isn't enforced? Go ahead.
Okay. Just to piggyback off what you said, independent of your religion,
just
not my world,
answer it.
Law.
Answer my question. Don't obfuscate. How can you have a right if it's a social construct? It's an entitlement absent any duty. Right? How can you have this right if it isn't enforced? Answer the question.
The right needs to exist before you enforce the rights. If not, what are you enforcing?
Goodbye. Can't answer the question. You don't have the IQ to keep up, and sorry, I'm out of patience. I probably had other people up with lower IQ than you, but I had a little bit more patience. I was only like 30 minutes in, right? My patience was a little higher. But now my patience is weighing thin, so when you come up to debate me on stream tonight, you have to have a high enough IQ in order to keep up. If not, I'm booting you to get to the next caller. Felipe. Not sure what you want to debate. Welcome to No Fugazee Podcast. Let me get your name and age.
Felipe, I'm 20.
All right, what prompt do you want to debate?
We can start with 2. I believe it's paradoxical.
Okay. What's paradoxical?
So, the claim of knowledge being impossible if atheism is true takes for granted or grants the truth of atheism, which is an epistemological claim itself. Do you understand?
No, it doesn't.
So how do you know if atheism is true?
It is true that there are So I disagree with what you presuppose. Are you saying that it's not true that people don't believe in atheism?
No.
Okay.
Completely off topic. What I'm saying is the prompt takes for granted or grants the truth of atheism.
No.
And then it makes a claim.
No, listen. You don't know how to think or read properly, right? So if it's the case, if atheism is true, knowledge is impossible. So hypothetically, if that is true, knowledge would be impossible. Now, is it true that people are atheists and they don't believe in God? That is true. There are people that are atheists. They don't believe in God, correct?
Correct.
All right. And if that worldview is true, knowledge would be impossible because they can't give an epistemic justification or an account or any good reasons for knowledge under that worldview. Now, if that's not true, and if you're an atheist, please give me an account for knowledge under your atheist worldview.
I'm not an atheist.
Okay. What are you?
I will try to be succinct about, I'm a Christian.
Okay.
I'll try to be
Sure,
succinct
go ahead.
about where I view the paradox in the prompt, okay? There's a hypothetical at the beginning of the prompt. If atheism is true, right?
Sure.
Then there's a claim made about the hypothetical. So the hypothetical is being engaged in. So the truth of atheism is granted there in the hypothetical, not actually, but in the hypothetical.
So you don't know how to think. Can you have a prompt, any prompt, and can you take an affirmative or a non-affirmative position on any prompt?
Yes, you can.
Okay, got it. So there's a prompt here, and you think I take the non-affirmative, right? I mean, you think that I take the affirmative position within the prompt, right?
Regarding the truth of atheism?
Regarding it being impossible. You think that I take the affirmative position. The prompt is making an assertion, correct?
Yes.
And this assertion, you think that I take the affirmative position on the assertion under my worldview.
That knowledge is impossible? Yes.
Okay.
Under atheism, yes.
Got it. So if it's the case that I'm taking the affirmative position on the prompt, right? That's a hypothetical prompt there, right? Then how is it paradoxical?
Because if the hypothetical is granted, okay, like we're in a world where atheism is true somehow, then knowledge is impossible. Well, how would you know
grant it.
that atheism is true in this world?
I didn't grant it.
It's the Okay, can we go to one because we're going to talk past each other here.
Yeah, we're not talking past one another because the point of a prompt, any prompt you do, it can be an assertion in a prompt, or you can have a prompt that's a question, right? So this prompt isn't a question. This prompt is an assertion. So if I currently said right now that, well, under my worldview, atheism is not knowledge. Well, if atheism is true, knowledge would be impossible. If I said that under my worldview, is that paradoxical?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. Can we go to one? I don't want you to drop me. It's not, this is the less important of.
It wouldn't be paradoxical under my worldview.
It wouldn't? Did you just ask if it wouldn't?
It wouldn't under my worldview.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll grant you that. Can we go to one?
Sure, go ahead. Go to one.
Okay. So I believe rights are intrinsic. So we're both Christians. Assuming you're not, you don't believe in natural law, right?
By natural law, what do you mean?
Like the meta-ethical framework of natural law in like the Western tradition?
Explain.
So are you familiar with St. Thomas Aquinas?
No, I'm not. Some of them I am, but go ahead, explain. Elucidate it for me.
Okay.
I may agree, I may not.
So we believe, I'll give the example that you were asking the previous viewer, and I'll answer the question he didn't, okay? You asked him if there's nobody there to enforce the right, or if the right isn't enforced. Could you ask the question again? So I don't want to misrepresent your question.
I'm not
the
sure.
Last question you asked the previous debater.
I don't remember, man.
Okay, let me try to represent it well. You said, if there's no enforcement, how can there be a right? Am I misrepresenting you? Is that a fair question?
If there's no enforcement, how can there be a right? That's pretty close, but go ahead. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah. So I believe in the case of a child who is aborted, right? The right that they had to life, I believe, exists intrinsically, but it was not enforced, and thus they were aborted, right? I believe that is, I know this isn't about moral claims, but I mean descriptively, their right was violated because it existed and it was not enforced.
What is a right to you?
So it's an unmerited, how do I put it, entitlement of an individual.
Okay, so a right to you is an unmerited entitlement. So it's an entitlement absent duty. That's what it is, right? To you?
Yes.
Okay. And if it's an entitlement absent duty, where does this entitlement come from?
God and the precepts of the natural law.
Okay, so this entitlement comes from God in the precepts of natural law. And where in biblical scriptures does it say that we have a right?
It doesn't say it, but I'm not sola scriptura. I believe the Christian tradition is not confined to the scriptures.
Great. Where in, tradition does it say that we have this entitlement absent duty?
The entire the entire Western philosophical tradition, the entire ethical tradition of the Western Church for 2,000 years.
Where?
To the present day.
Give me a name of someone that speaks about this entitlement absent duty.
Saint Bonaventure, Saint Thomas Aquinas, Saint Bonaventure.
Yeah, they speak about entitlements absent duty.
Yeah, Aristotelian metaethics.
Okay.
And the ethical framework of natural law would be a great reading point for you.
And that's fine. Christians. This entitlement absent duty, this would be, it's a concept that we would agree on, right? Like how can...
No, the child has a right to life, an entitlement to live, but they can't agree on anything.
How does the child have this right to life, which is an entitlement absent duty, if the child, for it to come to life, depends on the mother?
Oh, no. I misunderstood what you meant by duty. Yeah, duties exist for sure, but they don't have to be enforced for the right to be real, is what I'm trying to say. So I misunderstood
that doesn't make any sense then. So if it's the case that a duty does not have to, action, a duty is an action, right? There's no action that comes into place for the right to be real, then it is an entitlement absent duty.
So let me answer that.
Sure, go ahead.
The right of the child exists whether or not the mother fulfills their duty of bringing the child to term and taking care of them. So when the mother does not do that and gets an abortion, they take away the right to life of the child.
But where does this right come from?
God and the natural law, the precepts of the natural law, number one.
Okay, so God, okay, where, I'm asking you, where does people say that a right equals an entitlement absent duty in any Christian tradition or anything like that?
I've already
bring it up for me. Give me a link that's actually the meaning of what a right is.
All right, so you can go to the Summa Theologica, which is the corpus of, it's the biggest writing in the corpus of St. Thomas Aquinas.
Okay, got it.
And you can look at
what am I looking at?
Different
I'm going to look it up.
The natural law. Oh, dude, you want to look up the Summa right now? Yeah, you can do it.
Okay. I'm looking at it right now.
There's a good website called Aquinas.cc. It has it in a better format if that's better for you.
All right. And where is it I see nothing about rights being a privilege absent duty.
So you can go to the precepts of the natural law.
I'm on it now. I'm literally looking up at Thomas Aquinas, the precepts of the natural law. You have core precepts. You have human reason, you have universal human nature, you have eternal law, you have theology, You have all of these things here, and within all, you have the primary precepts, which is preserve life. You have
that's where you got it right there.
Okay, so protecting and sustaining innocent human life.
Correct.
Okay, so protecting. How can you do protecting without any duty?
I already conceded duties exist, but the right exists absent of the duty insofar as when the duty is not fulfilled.
No. You're wrong now. See, look. You have this weird way. Even when you came up, you have a weird way when you're speaking and you're saying words, you like equivocate on the meaning of certain words now. So when I first asked you about a right, you said it's an entitlement absent duty. Then you said that you went back on it. Now you're saying that, well, this right can still exist without any duty. But then I go ahead and look up exactly what you told me to look up, Thomas Aquinas, and we're speaking about precepts and the core presuppositions and the primary precepts. One of them, when we're speaking about life, it says reproduce, which is preserve life is speaking about protecting. Well, you protecting something, you need action. This will be a duty. It's speaking about sustaining. This would be upholding. This would be duties of innocent life. So a right under your definition has nothing to do with an entitlement. It has everything to do with a duty. This is what I'm trying to tell you, that you don't know what you're speaking about. You came up here trying to talk to me, talking about, well, rights is, I disagree with you about the whole rights thing. You just pointed to me. The direction you pointed to me proved your point incorrect and my point right. In Christian ethics, stop it. In Christian ethics, you need to do some homework and think about the things before you come up and speak. In Christian ethics, there aren't any rights of a privilege absent a duty. There's only duties. There's no freaking privileges. There's a duty. How can you preserve any life without doing the duty of protecting and sustaining the innocent of human life? There's always duties. You're out of here. Freaking dork.
It isn't my position.
Read some more books, you knucklehead. Yeah, like, bro.
No Fugazee.
Bro was just equivocating the entire time. Like, came up here and he had a point of contention with the prompt and saying that it's paradoxical. Even if it was, okay, but it's not paradoxical. Under my worldview, it wouldn't be. So he's just dumb. Then he talks about, oh, well, I'm a Christian too, and Christian ethics, bro. Yeah, bro, it's a privilege absent duty. Then he walks it back. He says, well, there's a privilege and a duty, but the duty comes after the right itself. Where's the privilege come in? And this is the thing, chat. I don't think I know everything, right? I actually don't believe that I know everything. So I'm always in a position to learn, which means that I'm in a position to refute someone else. Because I gave him the benefit of the doubt. Well, I mean, during my studies and my research, and then in Christian ethics, especially when we look in biblical scriptures, there's no rights. There's only duties. Then he brings up, well, Thomas Aquinas and, maybe some church tradition. Well, I'm not an expert in all church tradition and church history, so I'm going to go ahead and say, all right, well, let's see if this is true. Then we look it up. And the core principle is duties, no privileges, only duties. Homie got cooked bad, bro. For the folks that want to debate, yeah, you'll be coming up. Don't worry. I got y'all, bro. I'll let you know of the order now. So we got Bobby. He's been in here for a while. He's up next. We got Unc Will. You're up after him. We got Adam Smasher and then 808 Universe. And then that Lisa person, La Lisa. You're up after that. So 5 folks in here. I'll try to make it brief, like with each caller. Try to do like maybe 3 to 5 minutes. Let's get this guy up now. Okay. Welcome to No Fugazee Podcast. Let me get your name and age.
Hey, I'm Bobby, 43.
All right. What prompt do you want to debate, Bobby?
Man, I didn't want to debate you, man. I was in agreement with you. Several opposers behind, man. So
okay.
I like what you're doing, man. I like what you're doing, brother.
Listen, I appreciate the support and have a blessed one, man. I'm gonna get some debaters up here, okay?
Okay.
All right, man. Have a good one.
You too.
All right. Let's get Unc Will. He was up after that. All right. Unc Will isn't ready, so we're gonna move past him and go to Adam, and then now we're gonna go to 808 Universe and then Adam. Welcome to No Fugazi Podcast. And get your name and age.
Hey, this is 808 31.
Okay. And what prompt do you want to debate, man?
Honestly, I'm not here to debate. I just want to say, man, just keep doing what you're doing and just here to support us all, dude. I just ran across your page an hour ago, and I'm just still hanging on because it's really interesting. Consciousness is awareness, and thank you for bringing consciousness into existence. So, I'm not here to debate. I just love what you're doing. That's it, brother. That's it.
Hey, man, I appreciate the support. I really do. It goes a long way.
Of course, man. Blessing.
Have a good one, man. Welcome to No Fugazi Podcast. Let me get your name and age.
Man, my name is Adam, and I'm 17.
You can't be up here. 18 only. Peace.
Man, I'm gonna play.
Freaking kids. All right. All right, chat. So looks like I think that's everyone that was backstage for right now. So again, if anyone wants to debate tonight, oh, we got one. Name and age.
Nigger.
Okay. So it was a troll saying the N-word. Good. That person, someone, let me see here. What we can do is with that person that came up, we can flag their page. So report that page that came up. People on TikTok at least report that person. Welcome to No Fugazi Podcast. Let me get your name and age.
Yeah, Jean-Pierre, 41. What's up, Cooley?
What's going on, man? What prompt do you want to debate?
Good, man. Yeah, man. So women don't deserve equal rights.
Correct.
All right. So you wrote this prompt. And so in this prompt, there's already an acknowledgement that equal rights is in existence. This is making an acknowledgement of a reality, a certain reality, called equal rights. Explain that to us.
No, I don't think that there is a such thing as equal rights between men and women. So what you are presupposing that the prompt is asserting, your presupposition is incorrect.
You wrote it. Okay. Your message is they do not deserve a thing. That means there is a thing to be deserved.
No, there's a criteria. So is there a criteria of equal and a criteria of rights?
You're moving from the word deserve. That's the point.
Well, is it a criteria of deserve? What's the criteria of deserve? How do you know if you deserve something?
How do I know I deserve something?
Yeah.
with whatever conditions, requirements, expectations the thing asks of me. So the word deserve,
all right. So no, that's good. That's good. I would agree. So deserve is going to be based off of. Real quick, I agree. Deserve is going to be based off of something that is let's say earned. It's based off of some merit. Maybe if you're worthy of it, it's warranted to you. So I agree with the meaning of deserve. Now, how do we know, right, if women deserve equal rights? How can we know that?
Whoever is enforcing. Okay, so once again, I was.
You're not gonna defeat me on semantics, so you may want to.
No, I'm not doing that. Don't.
We are doing semantics right now, but I'm just asserting and letting you know that you're not gonna defeat me because I've made the prompts specifically for semantics. I want you to go this route so I can refute you, but I'm just letting you know you're not gonna refute me. So. Answer my question. Wow. How do you know that women deserve equal rights if it's the case that deserve...
Based on the enforcement, based on whoever's enforcing it, yeah, it's based on that.
Okay, so it's based off of whoever is enforcing it. And can women enforce any rights for themselves or for men?
Equivocating, but let's go ahead and answer it.
That anyway. Isn't an equivocation. Do you know what equivocation is? What does equivocation mean?
No, that's the wrong word. That's the wrong word. I apologize.
Yeah, you don't even using words and you don't even know what it means.
I'll take it. I'll take that L. Cooley, I'll take the L.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm a fast learner, Cooley. I'm a fast learner. All right. So women cannot enforce their own rights, correct? Right now, it's just you asking me questions, so I'm going to play along because I don't think you're going to let me, do my own spill.
You can ask questions too, but I asked you a question. You just admitted that women cannot enforce their own rights. They can't do it. Correct. They're incapable, which means, so if they can't do the thing, are they deserving of it?
We have to establish what criteria, expectation, conditions that needs to be met so that I can know they deserve it.
We just did that.
Oh, go ahead. Tell me what that is.
Remember, I said that, how do you know if someone deserves something? And we agreed that deserve means earn, to be worthy of, and is based off of some merit. So
we haven't gone specific though, have we? In the case of women.
No, we're on the specifics now. So now when we're speaking about
I'm waiting for the specifics. Go ahead.
Man, you're not following, bro. So if it's the case that we agreed on a few things already, we agreed that, well, what deserve means and how do you know if you deserve something? That's going to be based off of you being worthy of it, you earning it, or is based off of some sort of merit. So you working for it, some sort of merit. Status, right? So real quick. Now, if it's the case that you then agree that rights equals force, rights is gonna come down to who can enforce it. And if it's the case that women, you agreed as well that women cannot enforce their own rights, well, the logical conclusion would be that women don't deserve equal rights to men because they can enforce rights.
So I know I'm a follower of. Huh? Say it again.
I said that's checkmate. Like, what don't you get?
Absolutely not, Cooley. Hey, to be fair, maybe because you're short on time, you're gonna wrap up the debate before you can actually allow me to build. But that's okay. I'm actually a follower of Andrew Wilson and you and other guys, right? The Saint guy, right?
Okay, well, get Andrew Wilson up here and
No, we're not doing that. Let's stay here. I just want you to know.
So with me, this would be something that Andrew Wilson agrees with.
I know, Cooley.
Okay.
My point is, where you find checkmate is not in the phrasing "women don't deserve equal rights." It's in the framing of women has no equality. women has no equal what do you call it? There's double standards. There's no equal standards. Women has no equal standards to a man. That's where you're at a checkmate. But in this case, your wording, which you didn't want me to go into semantics for, but you have to look at it. Let me finish. You have to look at your wording.
Sure.
Don't deserve is based on the man deciding if they deserve it or not. And what we find today is
you're just equivocating
giving
again.
them the rights, brother.
No, you're equivocating. So let me teach you, because you don't, and then I'm getting someone else up because you don't have the IQ to keep up. So you're equivocating on the word deserve. You really don't. You're equivocating on the word, and equivocation means that you are changing the meaning of the word to fit your statement, and which is a logical fallacy. So we already agreed on what the word deserve mean. It means earn, be worthy, and is based off of some sort of merit. If it's the case that women are incapable to be worthy to enforce a right for themselves, and worthy and earn the ability to enforce right for men or themselves, thus they don't deserve it. It's a semantic. Listen. So listen, I'll help you out. Yeah, I'll help you out real quick. It's very simple. Because I see like you're triggered on the prompt. It isn't even the prompt. Triggered, no, you are. Real quick. You are actually. The prompt, I worded the prompt this way to actually be triggering to women and also weak males. So it's worded this way to be triggering to women, children, and weak males. And you fit in the category of a weak male because you're sensitive. So I told you, you will not win the semantic debate because semantics is basically what we're doing. And you lost.
Can I say one last thing?
You confirmed that women don't deserve rights based off of, we just agreed what the word rights mean, what the word deserve mean, and what the word equal means. Well, really, rights and deserve is the two terms that we were basically agreeing on.
Okay. Can I just say one last thing then?
Sure, bro. Go ahead, bro.
Because I know you're going to kick me off.
Yeah.
So
right.
anyways, I just...
Yeah, you out right now, bro. Like, what? You out right now. Like, if you have the semantic debate, like, if you agree with the word deserve, then it's like, all right, well, then they're not worthy of it. They didn't earn it. Right? So it's a cook session right there. And the reason I know you're a beta male and you're an effeminate man is because you have a problem with a word when we agree on the meaning of the word. This guy's a weak male. The prompt is made for women, children, and weak men. If you masculine, you're going to get the... Oh, okay, yeah, I see. All right. If you're a real man, you're going to... yeah, coolly. That's a good one. You're actually going to be like, nice. Trigger those effeminate males. Trigger those leftists. Trigger those feminists. Trigger them all. Right? I'm steps ahead of y'all. Someone said in the chat, deserve is subjective. Well, no, words have meaning. Does the word is woman subjective? All right, then you're just a liberal. If words don't have any true meaning, if everything is just relative and it's based off of whatever, then okay. But that's why I asked him, because we actually could have had different meanings of what we meant by the word deserve. But it came down to we actually shared the same meaning. So if we agree on the meaning of a word, and then the logical entailment of the word is that women cannot meet the standard of what the word means, thus they're not deserving of it. Still, it's easy. Freaking. All right, chat. What time is it? Man, I've been streaming for 2.5 hours, man. Get the likes up. Get the likes up for me, man. Where's all the mods? I see Jurin the Gray. I see you in here. See some of the members in here. So yeah, now we're going to go ahead and open it up for any of the members. If you guys want to come up in here and be a part of it, you guys can come up. I'm opening the panel up to the members, the people that subscribed on the YouTube channel. So I believe I think his name was Darius. You were back here. You became a member today. If you want to come on up, I'll bring you on up to debate some callers. And then also to any of the other members. I know WitKid normally comes up sometimes. Jaren, it'd be great to have you up if you wanted to come up. But I'm going to go ahead and take a quick pause for the calls real quick. And I got to use the restroom, so I'll be right back. But for the members, if any members want to come on up so we can debate these crazy TikTok folks. For the folks on TikTok, we got 3 prompts. So women don't deserve equal rights. If atheism is true, knowledge is impossible. Also, women are beneath men. Come on up and let's debate. I'll be right back. All right. We are back, ladies and gents. We are back. So, again, if anybody wants to debate tonight, come on up. We got 3 prompts. Women don't deserve equal rights. If atheism is true, knowledge is impossible. Women are beneath men. All right. Super simple prompts. Hopefully, this will trigger some atheists and some liberals. That's the point, to get people to want to come on up to have these thought-provoking conversations, right? A lot of people go through life like, I disagree. I agree to not to agree. They go through life and they're just like, so, I would say lame. Where they always tiptoeing around people. Oh, well, just let them live. Like, he wants to go ahead and, be gay. Let him be that. Oh, this person wants to go ahead and, no. This is debate night. We know that you have different perspectives, different opinions, a different worldview. Tonight is a battle of worldviews, right? Come on up and let's debate. Let's get it. If not, totally cool. We can go ahead and wrap up stream because I cooked enough. Like I was already chefing. I done ate at least 6 steaks. Had some yams on the side. I was out here cooking, folks, chat. For the folks on YouTube, you guys actually get to rewind back and watch the previous debates if you're like new up here. After I'm done streaming, rewind it back. Actually, no. We're going to post some clips of this. So just watch the clips. You know what I mean? Let's have these clips go viral. All right, I got nobody backstage on YouTube. I got nobody back. Well, actually, I got one person backstage on YouTube. Who the heck is this? Big Dog. I see you backstage on YouTube. You got to turn on your camera and I'll bring you on up. For the folks on TikTok, if you want to come on up, if you disagree with any of these prompts, come on up by requesting to come up live via TikTok. YouTube folks, just click the link that's pinned in the YouTube comments and you can come on up. Okay, we got With Ben says, Cooley, when are you going to have a 1v1 formal debate on here? Seems like it's been a while. Yeah, it has been a while, man. You know what? I'm starting to reach the level where people really don't want to come up and have the one-on-one debates. Because like before it was, listen, I've been trying to debate freaking Not So Erudite for like a year now. She's been denying the debate. Is feminism compatible with Christianity? That's the only debate I want to do with her. She denied it when at DebateCon. She didn't want to do that. And she did the Rachel debate. So it's like, and Rachel cooked her. Shouts out to Rachel Wilson. Totally cooked her. A lot of the people that's on the Jubilee channel, we're still reaching out to them, but sometimes it takes a little time. So sometimes like a lot of these people on the left or even the atheists, they seem, they're a little bit more brave. But it's still hard to like get them to agree to like certain prompts and stuff. It's like, it's weird. It takes some time setting up debates, but I do have some 1v1 debates coming up. I also have a 1 versus 10 debate. So it will be one of me, just me, myself and I, versus 10 feminists. This is going to be hosted on the Digital Social Network by Sean. And that's going to be dope. So it's going to be me versus 10 feminists. We're looking in November 5th. That's the date we're setting up for. So we got a lot of debates coming up, man. It's only going to get better and better. I was supposed to debate at DebateCon as well, but that fell through with one of the debaters that I was supposed to debate in person. So I got some stuff coming, man. You guys are going to see me on DebateCon, see me debating folks 1v1 there. You're going to see me doing a 1 versus 10, me versus 10 feminists on the Digital Social Hour with Sean Kelly. So you are going to see me doing more debates. More 1v1 debates, at least. So this is coming. It's just in the works. But on the meantime, enjoy the TikTok debates. Enjoy when I bring people up on YouTube. Enjoy the dating and relationship convos when I do the full panel convos with the ladies. Enjoy that. In due time, you're going to get more 1v1 debates. In due time, you're going to get something else too that I'm working on, which is going to be dope, which it does involve debating. So that's coming soon. But yeah, man, it's going to happen. It's all in the works. Let me go ahead and get this guy up. Welcome to No Fugazee Podcast. Let me get your name and okay, looks like that person just left. Fair enough. Okay. All right. Listen, man, I think we are wrapping up then, since we got no debaters currently right now, since I done cooked everybody. Next stream is going to be this Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So stay tuned then. If there's anybody that wants to debate that didn't get a chance to debate, totally fine. We do them Tuesdays and Thursdays. So this Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be going live again, probably with some more triggering prompts. So don't worry. You're going to get some more. But yeah, man, I'm out. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Hit the like button before you go. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. and peace. I'm out.
No Fugazi. Fugazi.